What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today when I talk to you about Lucid, I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down what's moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid right now is down 1.35%, 209 the low, absolute craziness, and then $2.28 the high. So a lot of volatility today. But at the same time, you are seeing a lot of manipulation. So when it comes down to today, you can already tell something was off with Lucid because during the pre-market, it was flat. Whereas during the pre-market for any other stock, it was moving higher because of PCE. So month over month, it came in lower than the forecast of 0.3 versus the forecast of 0.4. Year over year was flat at 2.5. But market loved this data. It kind of distracted them from what has been happening over the last several trading days. So this caused the market to really move higher. And then as well, later in the day, you had some issues with Ukraine and the States, but I'm not really going to talk on that all that much. But essentially, the market really moved higher with PCE. So this is how you could tell something was wrong with Lucid, the fact that it didn't do anything. And so the fact that once the market did open, it tanked, that is a very clear sign of manipulation. And why this manipulation is because that some entities out there wanted to buy puts, and that way they could benefit from Lucid going down. And this is why it is tied to this. So shorts right now are increasing 6.36 million shares. So over the last roughly 3 days, shorts have increased almost 25 million shares, possibly roughly about 22 to 25 million. Absolute insanity, despite them actually having a triple beating on earnings per share, revenue, and also giving good future guidance. So honestly, the market is really hanging on to the fact that Peter left and they just feel that the new management is going to flop. That is just it. So it's kind of crazy. So shorts are in obviously a way tied to this dragging down. So yeah, it's kind of crazy how it's all playing out, but 24.04% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 109 or 291.36 million shares. And just to give you a good overview of what I mean, this right here is just going straight up. So shorts definitely are doubling the hell down. And you can see once the market did open, they were increasing at its peak almost 29 million shares. And yes, you are seeing that correctly. So with there being 104.69 million shares, they were at the peak increasing 29 million shares. So they are literally bringing their A game. They want to destroy Lucid. Maybe they have a target of sub $2. I'm not really sure, but throughout the day, so they did recover some, but still it's absolutely mind-blowing what is happening. And it's kind of crazy. I don't know why Lucid is continuously lagging. This was the most optimistic earnings that they did actually have. So yeah, it's kind of crazy if you ask me. So let me know your general thoughts on that. No news from Lucid, so no press releases today. There was this Form 4 that was submitted after hours yesterday, which just showed Gagnon receiving 135,000 shares, and that was on the 25th. New position. It's all restricted RSUs, so nothing really crazy if you ask me. So this is all planned stuff. So yeah, it is what it is. Nothing really crazy based on that. Only thing I did want to bring up that was rather odd. You can see that Lucid was, I think, I agree with Mark that he did state in the Q4 earnings that he's seeing better demand in the Gravity than what they previously thought of. And most people are adding some additions to bring it to 120,000-ish. So they thought, why the hell not? Let's put out a Dream Edition version. So I think it's kind of backwards that they are doing this as a second version of it, but I believe that the price of this is sitting at 139. It's a little bit higher than the initial price point that they did state during the earnings that people seem to be gravitating towards. So the 120, obviously for reference, the first version, so the Grand Touring, is 94.9, I believe, and then the Touring version is supposed to be sitting at, I believe it was 79, if I remember correctly. Quote me or correct me if I'm wrong for that, but It's good to see that they are trying to hit a new target market for this, for the Dream Edition. It is just rather odd that they are doing it in this order, and as well that they haven't done any official news about this. So yeah, hopefully they put out some news or something like that, but I've already seen a couple people in the comments saying that they did order the DE version of it, so I don't know if that's accurate or not, but let me know your thoughts on that. Moving over to options, kind of low dollar value. So 915,000 in calls, 1.64 million in puts, 36% of all the options being done are bearish in nature. And you can see it right here, just this. These puts are the reason why some entities want to bring Lucid down. But of the call options that are being purchased, it's honestly all over the place. You see a consensus for it to be above 3. You have some big pockets of 350. So big money is seeing still a recovery. Because that 26,000 clearly isn't retail. And then you have randomly at 5 for May 16th, 2025. So it's all over the place. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub roughly $2 going forward. And then similarly for it to be sub $1.50. So it's all over the place, honestly. Based on this is the open interest. So with it above 2, you have 2,000 in open interest at the $2 strike price, 13 at the 250. So regrettably, all of this is going to be expiring worthless. Market closes in roughly 30 minutes or so. These are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So only one buy today, and that is for 518,000. Everything else is sells. Dark pool, a little bit more popular as per usual. So this is linked to shorting and other large entities. So it is what it is. So it's not the best, but with it right now at $2.19, trading between this S2 and this S3. So $1.97 is going to be that strong support. $2.37 is going to be that next strong target / resistance. On here, you don't see any new ratings. So last one came out was yesterday. Stefan, who has a 39% success rating, so not all that great. Stifle and $3 price target. So as a consensus now, adjusting for the recent ones that was just submitted, $2.39 is that price target, representing a 7.9% upside on the chart itself. So it is, there's not really much positive things to bring up right now. It is below all the key pivotal moving averages. Their technicals did break down like insanely, even more. Like, I don't think we've ever had that significant of a breakdown, even throwing it back to like 2022, like maybe when like right here, January 2022 possibly. And I believe what really prompted that was the SEC investigation. So they did probe Lucid at that time, if I remember correctly. Like I said in the previous videos, I've covered Lucid for a very long time. So I think this was also possibly, if I remember correctly, Tesla earnings. And that's when they started to cite some supply chain issues that caused Lucid to go down a solid like 22% that one day as well. But yeah, honestly, this is very, very crazy. As a positive note though, stochastic RSI is very oversold. So a good piece of news. You could see a little bit of a recovery. So let me know your general thoughts on that in the comments below. So give yourself a shout out. Did you buy? Did anyone manage to catch this bottom? I know that would have been rather scary at the moment, but yeah, it definitely paid off for anyone who's swing trading or whatever else. So let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments below, and what's your general thoughts on shorts really just saying F you to Lucid and doubling down, causing all of this craziness. So with all that, appreciate all of you watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And then one final thing, if you are looking for some good buy signals, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.